Alright, this is one of many videos that I took this particular day, and went out on a pretty low tide. The tide had just started coming back in again, but I catched two airboats go by me here. I follow one mainly, but I do show the two. Also, you'll see this dark spot just above the water line, and in that dark spot is where that a mirroring effect is occurring too on that horizon line. And when you zoom in on this, you can see a lot more. Now, this boat is going to go to a place called Hudson Beach, and in the video where I think I lost part of the boat, I'll slow it down, and I slowed down a few parts in here to where you can see a few things, but I'm going to show some interesting things too also in this video. But during this, you get a different perspective of this horizon line, especially as I zoom in. You'll see that the horizon just changes immediately, and what that is that's part of the mirroring effect occurring, where you're actually getting the water is actually mirroring the sky, and you'll see this, and it's pretty obvious, and it's not a mirage. Mirages don't occur. I guess you could call it a mirage under their definition, but it's a reflection. It's a mirror. So the water is going to act as a mirror on a lot of these areas, and you'll see as we go along here when this mirroring effect starts occurring. So watch this. Also, I'll show some birds going underneath this mirror, and this area right there is where things do disappear. I'm on a manual focus, so I try to focus it in, but it's kind of hard to work the camera, stay on something so far away, and be able to focus it in. And toward the end of this video is where I kind of thought I lost it, but when I watch it on the computer, I still see the boat, and I'll try to point it out to you. My videos are interesting because I am showing you facts that where you're going to have this illusion effect occur. The smoke and mirrors is how magicians use what they use to deceive you or do an illusion, and that's the same thing that happens on the water naturally. So use your own mind and your own brain, and try to put aside what you've been told, and just watch my videos. My videos are very, very well done, and I try to show you the best I can. And I do a few experiments also to help in some other videos. See how fast he went by me here, and this guy's smoking it. You know how fast these airboats can go. Some of them can do 60 miles an hour on this water. You can even see the mirroring from him. From that boat. Now the water was calm, it was like glass out there, it was low tide and hardly any wind was blowing. And buddy, it was hot out there without any wind blowing. I mean, it was pretty smoking. But this is where the mirroring starts occurring, and if I was to lower my camera, I would get less of that mirroring. There's two of these guys out there. Got both of them in here. There's the other guy. Buddy boat system. It's full zoom. Boat just went by in front of me here. Alright, I slowed this video down a little bit here so you can watch the birdies. Watch the birdie. It's going to go in and out of that little space that the boats hide themselves from. That little spot right there hides the bottoms of boats. Okay, see how that bird is like right on the edge of visibility. So take that into account also when you're watching boats go farther out in the distance. There's a portion of it that's missing, and it gets hidden in this invisible zone. So you know, the refraction, diffraction, whatever you want to call it, plays a big role in what you're looking at. It's the illusion. Mind that, it is an aluminum one. And I'm going to have to get out of here soon because I have a hard time getting my boat back out in the water. I'll finish videoing this airboat. And he looks like he's heading down to Hudson Beach. Either that or Airboat. I think he's already went by the Airboat channel markers. Then they got Sea Pine's channel marker out there. See how his reflection's getting longer? It's like a fun house. It's like going to the House of Mirrors at the carnival. He's still going. Yeah, there's a point somewhere in here where, you know, I could probably post parts of this and call it a UFO, because watch it, it'll give you this illusion that this thing's a UFO, especially when I zoom in on it. But I could probably post it and people would believe it really was a UFO. But this is an airboat, and he's still in the water. And this is where I'm saying that, you know, when you look at this thing, you'll see how, you know, it doesn't appear to be any water out in front of this thing. But there's plenty of water. But remember that water is mirroring the sky, so it is looking just like the sky. So, you know, when you look back like this, you can see that that boat is still clearly on top of the water. So, you know, what my whole thing is finding this secret spot to show you exactly where, you know, this invisibility zone is, because this is what eludes people. This is what's being hidden from you. Like I say, a magician would use this to perform his magic act. So, you know, once I show you this, and I do show you this in one of my videos, my last video, Angular Resolution Part 3, you know, that right there is pretty much proof. But you know what? I'm going to continue to do more experiments on it until I, you know, make it clear to people that this is actually what's occurring. This invisibility zone, once a ship gets out to that point, it will actually appear to be sinking, but this boat ain't sinking. And this boat right here, I'm gonna pause it, or maybe even use the zoom tool on it to zoom in on it to show you that this boat is still there. I say I think I lost it in the video, but I don't. It's still there. All right, let's continue watching this boat, this airboat. I think I lost him. Okay, I decided not to use the zoom tool. I think you can see this very fine without the zoom tool, but I did slow it down so you could see it a little bit better. Alright, so as we watch this thing, alright, here in a little bit I'm going to go off to the right side of this building, and right here where you think that water line ends is, you know, that little area, like I said, that invisible place. This is why you can't see the lower end of these buildings. They just blend right into the mirroring effect. And I'm going to do some, like I said, I'm going to do some experiments to show you how this area works and, you know, why you have this invisibility zone. And that invisibility zone is, like I said, where the illusion takes place. All right, here we're going to, on the right hand side of the screen, about in the middle, you're going to start seeing an island. And then this island right here, you're going to start seeing this boat come up on the right hand side of it, and it's going to start moving out in front of it, and then it's going to go by it. Here it comes. You see it. It's just kind of a blurry little line, but that's the airboat, and he's in front of the island now. And let's see, he's going to turn in. I go fishing in this area here too, so I do plenty of fishing over in this area during the winter months. All right, now he's on the left side of that little island, and you even see how this reflection line or this mirroring effect is even occurring. So, you know, everything that we see out there is mirrored. And when you get out a couple of mirrors and you zoom in on them and get this angular resolution area, you can find this invisibility zone. And that's what I'll be showing later on. I'll be doing some experiments on that and showing you how that works. But, you know, he's between the island and the building right now, and he's heading to the front of this building. And then you'll see you know, where he kind of disappears at right out in front of these buildings. You won't be able to see him no more. And that's that invisibility zone that I'm talking about. So, you know, I'm hoping that this brings a little more understanding and gives you a little better perception. I mean, he could even be going behind that building, but give you a better perception of what you're seeing out on the water. And this is the illusion that people get, you know, that they think that the boat's going over the curvature, making it harder to see where I'm at. I'm going to wind up with my camera here in the water real shortly. And I'm going to have a hard time getting in my boat and getting it back out on the water. I was using stones to step on it and get out there. You got much time left for that. And the water just washed my tripod in a little bit. Just show you here. You see the sun shining on these things still. Alright, I took this picture right here so I could explain to you, but you know, when you look at the top and you see count the little black slots where the windows are from the top of this building, okay, and then go over here to the bottom and count upward, however many you count downward, and you're going to find this one place right here where you can look, and there's a big gap. There's this gap between the top and the bottom. And if you notice that, you know, when you count these windows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you count from the top down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's this area right in between those two spots that is where this invisibility zone is. This invisibility is where the lower end of these buildings are. And as you can see, these little slats at the bottom are not as big as the slats at the top. And that's where I say it's being crunched, okay, being compressed because of the angle that I'm shooting at. So that one area that I'm talking about is where that invisibility zone is. I hope you see that in this. So that's why I took this shot. Also, you can see the rocks out here, and you can see this island. You know, and you try to split this island, you can't split it perfectly in two, because if you do, you'll be too high. You have to be a little bit lower on it because of this angle. Okay, so that mirroring angle is what's causing this invisibility zone. Angle of resolution, I can't resolve that area right there because of this mirroring effect occurring. Like I said, that's the invisible zone, and that's where the ships will appear to be sinking. I hope you understand it. Hope you enjoy it. So again, just want to bring my proof to the table, show everybody what I'm seeing. All right, thank you, and have a good day, and I'm glad you watched, and I hope you learned and understood. Peace to all. Alright, when we're viewing the fish tank, we can you can see that edge. So I slide my hand across here. What do you see? Well, my hand's going all the way across. Do you see my whole hand? Or is there a point there where my hand is missing? Let me go the other way so I can see my screen. Okay. You can barely see my hand. If I go back further, look at there. It's like my hand is not even being seen. And that is where my hidden boats are. That's where your lower half of your boats go. Water is a fun house, a mirroring fun house. So I hope you enjoy this little explanation